So the battery bank is shit. The solar panel, it's weak. That brings me to the generator. I have a starting issue. It's also leaking. I'm seeing what I know is a freshwater leak. It looks like oil. It's either a bad head gasket or a cracked block. We're supposed to leave Marathon in like a week. We didn't plan to be here even this long, but these issues keep coming up. They talk about the Marathon Vortex. A lot of work to do. It's not easy out here. Hi, little bee. Wanna go pee-pee? Huh? Wanna go pee-pee? Come on. Come on. Sit. Come on. Mama got her started. Trying to fix this engine. Somehow it flooded itself, I think. Otherwise, I don't know what else it is.
Wasn't the switch you were thinking?
No, the switch is fine. The kill switch. I thought maybe it shorted, but I think it's fine. Unless I disassemble and snip those wires to really check it. I don't want to do that now.
Arthur's wondering what's going on.
Where is he? Oh, hey, little bee.
He asked me to come up here and check on you. Now look at him.
The carb was leaking fuel, which is weird. I don't know why.
Sounds like it wants to start. Oh yeah! Woo! You did it, babe.
Alright, now we can relax and have dinner.
Oh! So while Nick was doing that, let me show you what I was doing. Me and Arthur. We made a lovely Italian meal. We've got the wine, some baked ziti, delicious. Dinner is served. Arthur already ate.
I'm not prepared for this fancy meal.
That's what I did while you were working.
That looks amazing. Do a quick wash.
Okay.
So as if we needed issues, or any more issues, we're having multiple things go on right now. One, our batteries are dying. They're dead. We need new batteries. Before we left, we tested them. They tested good, but since we left Fort Myers on this last trip, between Key West and now Marathon, we've had about 6 weeks of anchor time. Solar, battery, generator, completely unhooked. And now we're starting to see really how stuff is behaving. And these batteries are getting worse and worse. They don't last, you know, from midnight to 7 a.m. before they drop below 12 volts. So even though they tested well, they can do that. They're basically acting like they're half the size. The solar panel isn't performing like I would expect. It's 3 years old, but at full sun, I used to be getting about 18 amps, and now I'm lucky to get about 10 amps normally. So this thing isn't really keeping up. And now that might be more that the batteries are bad than the solar panel isn't giving what I need, but either way, that solar panel isn't gonna keep up. Now if we're running the water maker, which pulls, you know, 25 amps itself, then that brings me to the generator. I have to run the generator. You know, if everything's working correctly, probably once a day for an hour, maybe every other day, which isn't bad. I can deal with that. I have a starting issue with the generator and the main engine. I think it's a bad connection somewhere. I haven't been able to hunt that down yet, but it's also leaking. Now that we've been running it a lot more, I'm seeing what I know is a freshwater leak. That's coolant leaking. The problem is that where it's pooling in the tray and then also in the belt cover, it looks like oil. Now I don't know if it's mixing with oil inside and then leaking out, which is a huge problem. That's either a bad head gasket or a cracked block. I could tell that there was some leakage going on, so I tightened that clamp. I hope that's all it is. And then I hope everything else is just dirt mixing with it. That looks like oil. But if there is an oil leak, we gotta figure that out too. We didn't plan to be here even this long, but these issues keep coming up. And it's better that it's happening here than in the Bahamas, so I'm happy about that. But it's kind of delaying our departure. Both Kelly and I got a cold. It's not really helping our productivity, motivation factor. This is what Kelly thinks of this talk. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel good.
They talk about the Marathon Vortex. Kelly.
I said that yesterday.
What's the Marathon Vortex?
That people come here to leave and go cruising and they get stuck here and never leave.
Why do they get stuck here?
Because shit breaks. And things happen, or they run out of money, or whatever it is.
You mean just like us?
Yeah, but that's why I said that yesterday. We're gonna be in the Marathon Vortex. No.
No.
Side note, look who's on the bed when I'm trying to make.
What are you doing, man? This is what Arthur does when you try to make the bed. He hops up there and sits in the middle. Little King Arthur. Anyway, that's my rant. 15 minutes deep. I won't make you guys watch all that. We're adding to the list of shit going wrong today. After all that other stuff I just told you about, suddenly the solar panel, the charger quits charging the batteries. Something was going on. Open that up and that thing's just charred. The fuse, on the other hand, is fine. Imagine that. This is probably a little too cheap for this application. So, sorry I'm being so negative.
Sick.
It's a rough day. It's a rough day, rough week. What are you making?
Soup.
And grilled cheese.
For the sickies.
Alright. Well, I clean the diesels. Artarino.
Hi. Yay.
Yay, batteries! So that was pretty painless.
Yeah, you weren't gone that long.
No, and I walked there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, it's like wait 10 minutes for the taxi or walk 15. Twice mini. God for this platform. We got two 4D batteries in here. Very tight squeeze. And we're gonna fit 4 golf cart batteries in here, which will be a little even tighter squeeze. Stuff's going on. these batteries don't come with handles, so I just took some small line, a couple stopper knots, and some scrap 1/2-inch hose right here for a handle. This works pretty good.
2 in, 2 more to go.
Yeah. That is the problem. That's a little tight. Let me see. This is what I was worried about. Look at that! Baby! Yeah. Oh, I didn't think that was going to make it.
Look at that. That's perfect.
You couldn't get a tighter fit.
No.
That's awesome. We got power. All right, so here's how the new setup looks. So these are each 6 volts, so 6 volts, 6 volts. And this right here, connecting them, makes these two together one 12-volt battery. I'll have to make some setting changes on the charge controller for the solar panel, and then I believe the battery charger as well, because right now they're all set up for gel batteries, and these lead acid are slightly different. We're in business, baby. We got batteries.
The Adventures of King Arthur.
Look at King Arthur as he continues his survey of the royal keys. The king knows that land is the most valuable of the royal assets, and even this small island deserves his close, personal attention. As he tours the island, the sincerity of his concern is unmistakable. Our good king wishes there was something more he could do. But perhaps there is something he could do. Something noble. Something bold. Something heroic. Something valiant. That's right, King Arthur. Return to your yacht and let these villagers find these qualities within themselves. You are a king like none other.
We've had this issue for a little bit where the generator's been leaking, and then had Diesel Don come over and realize most likely it's just a bad oil seal from the crankshaft. Here's the replacement seal. Usually I don't think it's really a big deal. It could be a pretty simple repair, but not for us, of course. For us, it involves taking the whole timing cover off, which is right here. And this is really the only way we get access to this seal, which is right here. And so we got to press that off and then press the new one back in. And then put this back on along with about a dozen other things we had to take off. So we got to get this old gasket off of this and then get it off of the timing cover.
Arthur, don't you even think about getting off that blanket. Arthur, on the blanket.
We actually can't get a new gasket in because nowhere around here has one. We could order one, but it would take, like a week. And we kind of want to get out of here, and so we're going to make our own gasket with some gasket maker. Yeah, I just got to get these cleaned up, get the new seal in, and then I can put it all back together, and we should be good to go. a little nerve-wracking. Moving the heavy $1,000 machine over water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's neat. Ready? We want to set up. So what we're doing here today is repairing our batten pockets. There's a bit of a shadow here, but the batten pocket runs all the way across front to back of the sail, and there's some Velcro on the inside, so I can peel that back. This is the hook side, and you can see it's all damaged, and then on the other side of it, it's pretty worn. Here's a piece that Kelly just removed. A lot of this is missing. And here's a nice fresh new piece. So that's what we will replace it with. We actually lost a batten on our way down from St. Petersburg. We weren't really sure why the batten pocket came loose, but now we know. And after removing the sail a couple times for Hurricane Irma, and after we put it back up, as soon as we got the sails up, all of the pockets, well, 3 of the 5 pockets just opened up, and we had battens just kind of slipping out the back, so we had to crash that sail. Going sails. Going sails. The hardest part about this is probably just maneuvering all this sail material.
The actual sewing is like 2 minutes, but what takes longest is to prepare the damn thing to sew it.
Yeah.
So getting it in place, getting all the, what's that stuff called? The hardware out of the way.
Yeah.
So, but when we actually sew, it's not very long.
The biggest dress you've ever sewn.
I don't
We
know.
said that about the sail, the sunshade.
sunshades. Yeah. So that sunshade from scratch. This is just repairing it. I can't imagine sewing a sail from scratch.
Screech.
It's the holiday season. Doop-dee-doo. Almost cut your telltale.
Oh.
We're done.
Try to figure it out anyway.
What?
Songs of worries traveling with the storm. But I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone. And now, ooh, when you're gone, 'cause I'm still so